morning. I love your losing your mind each day recording. I feel like I need to almost take notes because I think of so many things when you're talking, and then, to try to shove it all back into a response is a little difficult, but also maybe it doesn't even need a response. I just think that it's great. One thing that occurred to me, you talk about following your intuition, like taking off the mask of alcohol allows you to follow your intuition. And I think I know something that I struggle with is that even though I don't drink, I have a very hard time tapping into my intuition and kind of knowing what is the right path. And okay, so if it's not about just getting married, having kids, if that's not the path, what are we doing here? What is the point of all of this? And, for me, it either seems like, well, none of it means anything, so why do anything? Or, it feels like everything is very important and I'm very, very busy, and I kind of oscillate between those two. So it might be interesting to do something around the specific pieces that you touch on in that video, or I'm sorry, that recording voice, about, here's what you found. You don't drink anymore, and because of that, you can tap into your intuition. But how do you know when it's your intuition?
Well, I knew you were going to ask that because I have been dealing with that since I began. And I started this quest to get back in touch with my intuition in February of 2022. In February of 2022, when I did my first ayahuasca ceremony retreat in Costa Rica, as a matter of fact, I was setting my intentions and preparing for that. And I was like, I have completely lost my intuition. I wasn't even sure if I'd ever had it, honestly. At that point, I was just like, I don't even know what that feels like. I don't even know if that exists in me. I'm actually I didn't even know anyway, I was desperately out of touch with it, just to say the least. And I look back and I had betrayed it so many times. It was coming to me. Things were coming to me, and I was like, no, that's not logical. That's not. And this was survival mode intuition, intuition trying to get me into not a place of necessarily a place of bliss, but just to pull me out of this place of survival and struggle and, hanging on every day for dear life, feeling that was my true source of suffering. Was I didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't know the answers to anything. And I was just I was on this raging river ride trying to grasp on to every piece of debris along the river to just get me oh my God. That's what I felt like. I was just in dire straits. So it has taken a lot of practice. And I put forth a lot of effort. Journaling is really the way that I have mastered this. Well, maybe, I don't know if I would say mastered, but maybe I have. Yeah, I think I'm mastering it. I think I have a lot more that I can definitely do to tap into it, but I am light years ahead of where I was when I set forth on this path. So it's doable. But it does take a lot of self-inquiry. It takes a lot of journaling. It takes a lot of intention to get in touch with your intuition. Ladi Han really actually helped me significantly in that space as well. Or just even going to ecstatic dance and closing my eyes. Being in and around and amongst people, like moving my body and shutting my eyes really helps to like physically, like this moving meditation allows for your body to lead the way. And that's truly what intuition is losing your mind, getting out of your head, and dropping into your body, feeling, okay, what way do I go? How do I trust myself? Do I need to just stand still for a little while and feel the energy? Or do I need to move about and really see what kind of other energies are out there that draw me in, that attract me, that repel, that are not resonant? That's a really good practice. So even try walking around your house. Like, your house, you have set it up, you have created the space. Walk around your house with your eyes closed. See what you feel. See how you intuitively move about your space. I'm listening to recordings of us this morning talking about our intuition, and these are from months and months ago, and it's interesting to go back and listen and be like, what's changed? What's the gain and the gap? The gain versus the gap, I guess I should say, because I also immediately judged and was like, oh God, I'm still telling that same story, or that seems to be repeating, or putting judgment or a label of that's bad and I got to change that about me. And I think the reason that it keeps repeating is because instead of just accepting ourselves and accepting the here and now kind of sucks, but if history proves itself, it will get better. And then when it's good, you don't have to assume that it's going to fade or that doomsday is coming or the other shoe is going to drop, but it is an ebb and a flow. And judgment is by far the bane of the human existence, I believe, because as a species, that is what we do best. Judge ourselves and judge one another. Every aspect of our outer world is pretty much on display, whether it's in person, via a picture, phone, find my phone. That invention, the way that people are now tracking one another, and believe that it's the right thing to do and that it's the responsible thing to do. I don't want everyone to know my every move. I can't even imagine growing up that way. I thought I had, oh my God, I got no privacy whatsoever. Anyway, it makes me a little sad that we're all so worried about being alone. And I'm like, we're never alone. Ever. Try to just go be alone, even in a park or anywhere. You have to go far to be alone. And you better check your phone because someone's watching you. Location notifications. All right. I love you. There's a scene in the new Superman that came out this summer where Lois Lane looks at Superman and she's like, you see the good in everyone. You trust everyone. You love everyone. And she's like, I'm the complete opposite. And I have so frequently in my life beat myself up for, I've given too much of myself. I've compromised too much. And I spent so much time. If I look at it from one perspective, I was like, I drained myself. I let myself be used up. There was narcissists or energetic vampires or whatever. But in the reality of it is I've always been a free woman and I could come and go as I pleased, really. And I specifically chose men that I knew would let me, really, but they tested me, and I kept coming back down into a dim space, my inauthentic space, instead of just being myself, just getting to my own baseline. And then whatever resonates with others, I just wish I would have been okay with that. And talking to my daughter yesterday, I'm like, I really think she's okay with that. And I'm like, I just see that I resonate at a different frequency. And I have the choice of saying at any moment in time, End scene. And there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make them bad or low vibe or what anything. It just makes they're having their own experience and I'm having mine, and they overlap sometimes, very little usually. And so judgment, I judge you because you don't fall into my Venn diagram enough, and you judge me because I like these things that you don't, and I'm trying to force you to like them. And can't we all just get into each other's preferred Venn diagrams and then get along in those? I don't know. What do you think?